Hey guys, it's the second day of NVTC. This is James Lochrie, from the CTO of Wave Accounting. I understand you guys started in Toronto, is that correct?
Yes, yeah, we started our company in 2009 in Toronto.
So I'd like to congratulate you because personally I run a small business. I use your software. It's an amazing free software that a lot of young entrepreneurs use daily,
thank you.
and it's very, very important for startups. You were talking about Torontonians starting business and then moving to the U.S. because they think the Silicon Valley and New York and all those big cities are a better place for them to be. And you were very against that idea. Could you expand on that a little bit?
There's a couple of things there. I think that going down to Silicon Valley is an easy answer. Big things happen down there for sure. But you can make that happen here. We're living proof of the fact that you can build a big business that's reaching a lot of customers and having an effect in the marketplace. And you can go down. People will always say you should go down, but look at the option of staying here and building your business here. One of the key points that I said is that the talent market in this city is enormous, and we've got 5 million people that live here, and there's a lot of technology people here, and very talented.
Absolutely. And I'd like to also ask about the fact that you're raising money and having to pitch to all these different VCs and angels. And how's your experience with that in Toronto specifically? Because I know the Valley, there's hundreds of them that you can pitch to, but the number is limited when it comes to Toronto compared to the US, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think when you talk about Canadian-based VCs, you're looking at 5 firms that can write a fairly significant Series A check, right? Whereas in the US it's significantly more. But there is capital here. We did both. We've raised capital out of the U.S. and out of Canada, and it's I don't look at them as there's a border there. I think it's just part of your job if you're raising money is to be talking to as many people as possible. And there's no difference in the process. There's no difference in the type of people. There are differences between the firms, and you have to pick the right firms that are for your needs. But there's really no reason to be thinking U.S. or Canadian. You should be focusing on all of it.
So finding a right investor, even their network is also important to you, right? Like finding the right people who will help you grow your business, right?
Well, I think one of the key things that we really look for is alignment with what we're trying to accomplish. And Omer's Ventures was our first choice when we were looking for money because they're a life cycle investor. So when we're looking at their first investment with us was $500,000. And then we did the $5 million A round, which they participated in. And we know that they're going to be there for the B round. We know that when we go for a C round, they're going to be there. And if we go for a D and we're still on track with what we want, they're going to be there as well. So it's one of those things, you just have to make sure you've got alignment. Network is important, but it's a little bit overrated. I think the entrepreneur needs to be the one that's owning his own network. And if he needs to go and find a guy and talk to that specific guy, he's got to find a way to do it.
You should never be able to not cold call someone, right? You should always be able to do that.
Exactly.
Awesome. I'd like to ask you one more question about what's your favorite piece of technology these days? I know you're in the same business and you're working with software a lot, but
I'm the type of guy that's technology agnostic, and it's always what's the piece of technology that works well for the problem you're trying to solve. Right now, if I have to choose one, I've got to say Python is probably the most interesting one for what it can produce for web technology businesses.
Right, that's interesting because a lot of guys are big on Ruby in Toronto. It's nice to see both sides.
There's definitely arguments on both sides of that equation. Ruby is a very powerful one as well. We chose Python with the Django framework for our core product, but we do have another product that's actually written in Ruby. So with that said, there's, like I said, whatever technology is right for the problem is the right thing to choose.
So thanks so much for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.